Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl GiCurls, and I know I'm coming at you looking crazy today. My hair is a little wild because this episode is going to be for my new series, Popcorn and Curls. Well, it's not actually new. I've done it previously in the past, but we're reintroducing it to this channel because I haven't done it in a while. So it's my Popcorn and Curls series where I review a film or television show while I do my hair for the day. So today's episode is going to be on the Netflix series Warrior Nun. It is one of the many shows that I watched during this quarantine period. I watched so many things. I watched so many things. So we're going to be reviewing Warrior Nun. There might be some spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, don't watch this if you ever want to see it, because I might give a little bit away. I'm going to try not to. No, I'm not going to try not to. I'm just going to be reviewing it, giving a recap as well. So yeah, no, it's spoilers. Scratch all that, it's spoilers. So if you're not interested in that type of review, don't watch this. Yeah, and I'm going to be doing my hair. The hairstyle we're doing today, the front will be braided and the back will be out in a wash and go type of style. So that's what we're going to get started on today. So I have all my supplies here, so let's get into it. You know what I forgot? My mirror, because I need to be able to see myself so I can do my hair. Be back in a quick sec. Okay, so we're talking about Warrior Nun. So like I said, Warrior Nun was one of the many shows that I watched during this quarantine period. And it was not my favorite one, but it was not the worst one I've ever watched. So it's about a quadriplegic orphan who discovers she now has supernatural powers after she's been resurrected from the dead. She becomes the Warrior Nun as the chosen halo bearer for a secret sect of demon hunting nuns. Ain't that a mouthful? That's a lot. Ava, and she used to be a quadriplegic, and she actually died at the orphanage that she was at. I think she's 16 or 17. And basically, while she's in the morgue of this church, the Warrior Nun and the other secret nuns that fight demons, they came into the church because the Warrior Nun was fatally or mortally wounded. She wasn't going to make it, so they had to take the halo. The halo is what makes them the Warrior Nun, that gives them these superpowers. They had to take the halo out of her back so that the demons that were coming after them wouldn't get the halo. Because like if they get the halo, like, you know, hell on earth, all that type of stuff that happens in these shows. Okay, so that's like kind of like the overall, like what happens at the beginning. Okay, so we're just gonna put this part back while we work on the front. Ava, her corpse is in the church morgue, and so after a battle, these nuns race in with Sister Shannon. She is the last Warrior Nun, and she is dying from her wounds that she suffered in the battle. Okay, she's dying, and so because these like mercenaries and demons are after like the halo, they have to extract it out of Sister Shannon's back so that they can't get it. And so to hide it, they put it in Ava's corpse. I don't think they knew what would happen when they did that, but it brought Ava back to life. And no one was there when she woke up. And so she leaves, and at this point she is exploring the city because she can walk now, she can run, she can do all these things. And so she's just like overwhelmed, and she goes through the city. And actually she ends up, I think she was going to drown or something, I don't remember. But she gets saved by this guy named JC. And she ends up basically hanging out with him and his friends. They are squatters. Like they squat in people's Airbnbs and their houses that are empty, and they just live the life until they have to move on to the next house and the next house. So the whole time she's chilling with JC, the Warrior Nuns are like, where is the halo? Like, well, not the warrior nun. She's the only warrior nun now, but the other nuns are looking for the halo because it's supposed to be passed down to the next person. Like, people train all their lives to be the next warrior nun and then the next warrior nun, and then she is not someone who has been trained, and it was just placed in her back, so they want to they need it back, or they need her. They're looking for it. At the same time they're looking for her, so is the Terras demon. It's the demon. He's like drawn to the halo. So this show had the makings to be good. Like, I feel like the bones were good, the story was good. I know it's based off of, like, loosely based off of a comic story. I don't know anything about the comic, so I'm speaking just on the show that I watched. And Ava as a character is just, I don't know how, like, the author must have a supreme, like, dislike for teenagers, like, because it was reflected in the way that Ava was, her personality. It was just, she was terrible. She was just like the most annoying person you could think of, that was her. The most irrational person you could think of, that was her. And I was like, not the author, the writer has to dislike children, has to dislike teenagers to write them this way, because Ava, just ridiculous. So the whole show seemed to, like I said, it seemed to have good bones. It reminded me of something. Like, I like the fantasy sci-fi type of shows, like this and The Witcher and things like that. And it's not like they could have did so much with it, but there were so many characters within the show that they did not even bother fleshing out. Like, the side characters could have had so much more to them if the the writers and everything would have given them more of a backstory, if we could have seen more of them. People like Shotgun Mary, the other nuns, Sister Beatrice, Sister Camilla, all of them. I want to know their stories more. I'm assuming they will possibly get into that in season 2. Let's hope, because Ava by herself cannot hold this show. I was no. No. So they are looking for her, and then when they finally find her, they're explaining, you know, this is a sacred mystical object that we put into your back. It is holy. It's to save the world, because you're indestructible except for the material that killed Sister Shannon, but other than that, you're virtually indestructible. It is heavenly or whatever. And she's seeing demons at this point. A demon tried to kill her, and she's still like, I don't understand. What don't you understand? So she still doesn't understand the importance of this, and so they finally take her to the church, or what, I don't know what it's called, the place where they live, the convent. They take her to the convent where all the nuns train and everything, where they live. And they're like, you know, we need to teach you how to defend yourself. We need to teach you how to use this, because otherwise we need to put it in someone who can help us. This is to help the world, this halo that was put in your back. And she's just acting like a teenager, like, I just want to live my life. Like, I didn't sign up for this. You didn't sign up for this, but you were also dead. So I'm just confused. The alternative to this was death. So I don't get it. She acted like they took her from her life and are like now trying to make her do this. She was dead, so she wasn't doing anything at that point. And they brought her back to life. And at this point, we need this thing to help us stop demons from killing everyone in the world. And she just didn't seem to understand. And they told her several times that the demons can track the halo that is in your back. Don't leave. And they put her on a vest so that, like, it's like it'll block the signal of the halo. And then when they won't be able to find her, the demons won't be able to find where she is in the world. And don't leave the convent or whatever. And guess what she does? She leaves. She's like, I'm confined. I gotta get out of here. I need to leave. And this, okay, let's say you are leaving. Let's say you're leaving. Why would you leave the vest? Just take the vest with you, because again, the demons will track you. So why not take the vest? I don't understand. So there were 10 episodes all together, and they spent a good 6 or 7 episodes listening to Ava whine about how she doesn't want to be the warrior nun, how she didn't sign up for this. Like, I understand. The first episode or 2, you know, it's a shock, it's a new life. Yeah, let's get into it. Like, yeah, but for her to complain most of the show and spend most of the show focusing on that and her, there were so many other interesting characters we could have learned more about besides spending all of our time focusing on whiny Ava. Oh, the actress was good. It's nothing on the actors. All the actors were good. It was the story of her character. She was terrible. I don't understand. Like, people like Sister, Shotgun Mary, she is like I guess she's a nun, but she's like unconventional. She's a rebel. She carries a gun. She's like a baddie. And she, you know, she's just not here for no game. And the other nuns wear like habits and everything, and Shotgun Mary does not. So she was basically one of the main side characters that were supposed to help guide Ava. Then you have Sister Beatrice. Sister Beatrice, make a show just about her, okay? I don't care about Ava. Make a show. Give the halo to Sister Beatrice, okay? Give it to her. She can fight. She's not annoying. I was like, yes, Sister Beatrice, especially that hallway scene when she was just like smacking everybody up. She was just getting it. I was like, okay, Sister Beatrice, I'm here for it. And then you had Sister Lilith. And Lilith, I know that name from like other things involved with the Bible and other TV shows about religious things. So I was like, is Lilith like gonna do something bad? Is she gonna end up in hell? Because literally I thought that as soon as I heard her name. In other shows that have to do with that, there's always a Lilith. And she was more like, she was the person that was supposed to be the warrior nun. After Sister Shannon died or whatever, the halo would have went to Sister Lilith. So she obviously already had some resentment. And at this point, they weren't trying to get the halo back. They wanted to try not to kill Ava and give it and just like train her. But Sister Lilith was basically like, you know, she don't want it. Let's just take it and give it to me, because that's where it's supposed to go anyway. Sister Lilith was not for none of Ava's mess. She really just wanted the halo back. And she was willing to get it. If Ava wasn't gonna act right, she was like, we gonna take it. And so yeah, Sister Lilith, her and Shotgun Mary had a love-hate relationship. They seemed like they did not like each other, but at the same time they were sisters, and it seemed like they had a bond as well. So, you know, it's one point when Sister Lilith fought the demon and was impaled and eventually like basically dragged to hell, I'm assuming. We were assuming, you know, it was really a sad moment because Sister Lilith actually sacrificed herself to save Ava. While all of this is going on, there is this scientist that is using the rare metal. It's called divinium. It's a rare, like a mystical metal, supernatural metal, like shields and swords from back in the Knights days were made out of these like religious relics, and everything was made out of divinium. And so there is a scientist lady, and she is rounding up all of these artifacts and melting them down to make this machine. And she feels like this machine will open a portal to another world. And all of the nuns in the church are like, those are religious relics, like you shouldn't be doing that. She's like, but science, and it'll open a portal. So she like builds a replica or whatever, or like a model of the portal or whatever, using the metals that she has collected, and it does open a portal. And she sticks her hand in it. It's like a hole, and she sticks her hand in, her hand disappears, and they're like, and all the scientists are like, oh my god, it's a portal to wherever. And she's just like, I need to collect the rest of these things so I can make a bigger portal. She has another agenda, but let's just say right now that is the agenda. So she's saying it's another world. It can open the portal to another world. It could be a portal to heaven, hell, wherever. If it is a portal to hell, as other people would believe, why? No matter where it goes, why? I just feel like somebody would definitely do that, do this and make this random wormhole portal to wherever and just be like, science, we need to know. We need to know what's on the other side. No, we don't. No, we don't. And then in the demonstration to all the news media, she just sticks her hands in. If we really want to know where this portal goes, stick your head in and take a look around so you can let us know. Like, you don't know where it goes, but a way to find out would be to stick your head in, not your hand. And we can't tell nothing. All I know is my hand disappeared. Where does it go? Where does it go? Stick your head in, please. Thank you. I'm still not going, but you can tell me what's in there. Or a camera. Stick a camera in there. Like, I don't understand. That'll make sense. So, okay, back to Ava and her nonsense. So, she sneaks out to go hang out with JC, the guy who saved her. Like, she's been cooped up in an orphanage most of her life. And she doesn't really know any people her age. And so she's just very fascinated by them. She's hanging out with them, just chilling with them, basically. We meet the characters, like JC's friends, the other house squatters who he lives with. We meet them, and the thing about that is that after we meet them, and she goes back to the convent when she actually gets some sense and decides to train, we never ever hear about them again. They all decide to split up because they're like, we don't want none of her mess, because basically, like, she blows up, like, she gets angry at one scene and the walls start cracking and they're like, oh no, people looking for her, she can't hang out with us no more. And JC decides to stay with her for whatever reason. The characters, we never hear about them again. This group of characters that were supposed to be like her new friends in the real world, they don't get any more mentioned. We don't see them ever again. So I was like, what was the point of even bringing them up at all? Because even JC, after she goes back to the convent, we don't hear about him at all ever again. Maybe next season we will. But I'm just like, what was the point of even introducing them? They didn't bring anything to her life. They didn't cause anything. They didn't change anything. They didn't make her a better person. She was still terrible, still whiny. So I didn't understand what the point was of introducing those characters. I thought, like, I don't know what I thought, but it was no point. Throughout all this, once she finally decides to accept her fate and be the warrior nun, learn how to fight demons, train, do something, she goes back to the people who have been helping her, the nuns, and Father Vincent. He's one of the head people in charge, and he's been like overall her training. He's the one that didn't want to kill her. The whole time everything is going on within the whole story, everyone thinks that at least Father Vincent, who is like Ava's advisor, all the nuns generally trust him. They all think that the cardinal, one of the cardinals, is the one that is like the bad guy of the story. We all think that. And so they think this cardinal, who is trying to become the Pope as well, they think that he is basically trying to get this secret demon wielding power that's locked in the tomb underneath the Vatican in Rome. And so they decide they're going to break into the tomb to get it, so that this man, who's now the Pope now, so that he can't get it and he won't be able to control the demons. So the whole plan is for Ava to, this is like towards the very end, the last 2 episodes or so. So the whole plan is to break into this tomb, which is supposed to be the tomb of the angel Adriel, which is the original angel that brought the halo down to give to the nuns and put it inside of Ariella's back, the first warrior nun. So they really revere him. They're like, you know, he's a good guy. He's this angel, and in his side, his tomb, is where this power is to wield demons, and we need to go in there so that the cardinal cannot get it and use it against us, basically. And so the warrior nun, Ava, she done got her stuff together. She on the right side of things now. She got some sense. And so they work out a plan, and they go, Father Vincent, Sister Camilla, Shotgun Mary, Sister Beatrice, all of them, they go to the tomb. They get in there. Ava is the only one that can walk through walls because of her Warrior Nun, one of her supernatural powers. She can walk through walls. And she gets into the tomb, and it's supposed to be a tomb for Adrian. He's supposed to be dead, so I think they were trying to get his bones or something. They expect it to be bones, right? And so when she gets in there, the angel Adriel is in there. He is alive and well and looking particularly creepy, I must say. As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, okay, that's a bad guy. I was like, it's weird. She's like, oh my God, you know, like you would be if you heard all these stories about how he's dead. You would be like, oh my gosh, you're alive, what's up? And so basically, like, she keeps getting flashed while they're talking. She's still like, this is the angel, whatever. While they're talking, she keeps getting flashbacks, basically, of the original story of when he first came to Earth and the Warrior Nun Ariella. Throughout these flashbacks, we kind of get a sense that everything is not as it seems, that he is not like this good angel that the nuns know him as. But yeah, so she's in the tomb talking to Adriel, and I'm like, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. And he's just looking creepy, like he's giving off evil vibes. And then at one point while she's talking to the angel, his face turned into Father Vincent, like for a quick second. And I was like, I am tripping. Because it happened so fast. And then he turned back into Adriel, and she didn't say anything. And so I was like, did I see that? Because I was like, because as soon as I saw it, I was like, so Father Vincent is the bad guy as well. Like, he's not on their team. Like, I was like, he must be bad. Why did this man just turn into Father Vincent and turn back into him? It was like a real quick flash. He turned into Father Vincent and he turned back into himself, and she didn't address it. She wasn't like, hey, you just turned into somebody else. Do you know that? And I don't know why he did that. And I was like, oh, Father Vincent is a traitor. Like, he's bad too. But nobody said anything, so I was like, I must have been tripping. And so then basically the whole plan this whole time has been to trick her into coming into this tomb. The other nuns did not know. Everybody was fooled. Apparently it's been a sabotage between Father Vincent and Adriel, who is a demon? I don't know. She's like trying to get out of there. She's like, it's a trap, it's a trick, we gotta go. And Adriel done broke out. He unleashes the demons and the spirits, and they start possessing people, because there's different type of demons. It's like the Taras demons, which are the ones that are actually like visible, but then it's just like demons that can possess you, demons that make you do bad things, and those are not visible to the human eye, and those possess people. And so basically, like, he uses them to basically fight against the nuns. They're like outnumbered. It's not them, it's only them that's there. Those few nuns and the Warrior Nun. And so he has all these innocent people possessed to fight with him, all the demon spirits, and only she can see the demons. And so all the nuns are getting ready to fight. The overall vibe of this show has been, it's just been a lot. It's just been, it was just a lot. Like I said, I thought it was a good show, but it could have been better. Some things I think were just not well thought out, were not well executed. They left just too many things open, like too many characters unexplained. Like, I would like to know that backstory. Why does she act that way? Like, we need more about Lilith. We need more about Sister Beatrice, the group of teenagers she met and that disappeared. Are they okay? You know, things like that. Okay, so I just went and added some more leave-in conditioner and gel to my hair. It is very wet right now, but we're gonna get back into the review. We're wrapping it up. So the show is 10 episodes, and like I said, most of the action, I would say, as far as meeting an angel, all that stuff, where I thought it actually started to form, happened on the 9th and 10th episode. So towards the very end is when it was like picking up speed, and I was like, okay, we cooking with grease. Like, we got something going here. Like, this could be good. And so once Adriel breaks out of the tomb and is ready to fight the nuns, and he got his demons behind his back, and they about to go against the nuns, like, they're about to go against each other, and then it just cuts, and that is the end. Like, that is the cliffhanger. And I was like, okay, I've been rickrolled. Okay, because I was like, all this stuff should have popped off episode 5 or 6. Okay, and then we should have met him, learned who the bad guys was, episode 6, and then we need more after that. Because for you to cut it right there, I was like, they really want me to come back for season 2. They really do, because I was done. Like, it is a good show. Like I said, it has the makings to be a great show, I think. But I just think so many things were just left. They were just like, we're not, I don't know. I just think it was just an unfinished thing. And obviously they meant for it to be a cliffhanger. I don't understand why. Because why? But I don't like cliffhangers. And I definitely didn't like this cliffhanger because it was such a cliffhanger. It was just in the middle of the battle, it just stops. And I was like, okay, next episode. And when my Netflix did not automatically start the next episode, I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, so I think they should have started this, gotten to the culmination of all of that in like episode 5 or 6. And then we could have spent the next 4 episodes wrapping it up and solving the overall issue. But they obviously want us to come back for season 2 so that they can do all of that. Let me make sure these are even. So that they can do all of that, which is somewhat annoying. Yeah, which is annoying. But everybody in the show did well, played their parts well. Even the actress who plays Ava, I think her name is Alba. She plays the teenage Ava, and she did well too. Even though I cannot stand Ava. I think they need to focus on someone else for next season, because I am extremely tired of her already with just this one season. But overall, the show was good. Not as good as The Witcher, but as far as like shows in that like genre, like supernatural a little bit, I thought it was pretty good. But yeah, there's just so many unfinished storylines. Yeah, I just feel like the show spent a lot of time wasted a lot of time, just a lot. I would give this show a, if I have to do out of 10, Warrior Nun season 1 was a 6 or 7. I'm gonna give it a 7. So I'm going to go dry my hair and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the final look for my hair. I think I'm gonna, you know, fluff it out a bit more because it still looks a little like down to me. I want it to be more like that. So I'll probably fluff, get my pick and go through it. Give Warrior Nun a chance if you're into more like fantasy, sci-fi, drama, teen drama. I don't know what it would be classified under. That is the end of my review. Thanks so much for watching. It's your girl GiCurls, and I'll see you in my next video.